Yeah, it's nice to have it there. When I got told that it was in the works and we finally signed off on it, was a bit of relief, but it wasn't really at the front of my mind at the moment. It was all mainly about just getting back to getting on track and trying to get a game again.
Where are you at? Like full training or anything?
We keep saying we're about a month away, and it keeps getting shorter. It keeps getting longer every week. The club hasn't had a pec injury before, so we can't really put a date on it as such at the moment. So we're just going to keep playing it by ear. We have a goal of getting back in about 3 to 4 weeks. Could be 2, could be 3, could be 6. We're just going to sort of take it as it comes, and if it's feeling good, we'll push it. If it's not, then we'll just leave it alone.
What is it, limited by pain or movement?
At the moment, it's just strength. I was out there kicking footies, marking, doing all that sort of stuff today, but I probably wouldn't be able to stick a tackle if somebody ran at my right side, and if I hit the deck, it probably wouldn't bounce back as well as we want to at the moment. So we're just got to get all of those little things in the gym right first, and then we can start bashing into some bodies out on the track.
You've had some injuries over the course. Just how frustrating is this one been, given the fact that you're probably doing all the running? But
yeah, hamstrings and stuff like that you can sort of get over pretty quickly. I think 4 to 5 weeks has probably been my longest hamstring injury. After about the 4 to 5 week mark, I was sitting at home scratching my head, wondering what I was going to do next, because that was when I was usually coming back to play. So I think we're at 11 or 12 weeks this week. Still scratching my head, hating life of running every day and not doing a lot of contact and stuff. But it was nice today to have a run around with the boys and have my pink hat on and actually still get a few knocks here and there, which is good.
Have you actually been able to increase your fitness, do you think, during the break?
A little bit. I've probably put on a kilo or 2, but that's sort of going to happen when you can't do anything for 6 weeks. But it was just finding that base again, and we're back to where we were probably at the start of the year, if not in a better position with my lower leg strength. So hamstrings and everything else are in a pretty good position, because that's all I've been able to do for the last 10 weeks.
How are you as a spectator? Has it been hard?
I'm horrible. My wife doesn't want to sit next to me. I go and sit in a box with the boys, but I sit away from the boys because I'm usually chewing on my jumper or scrunching up a bit of paper or hitting the table or something like that. Because you feel pretty helpless not being able to do anything to rectify. And sitting up nice and high, you see everything and you see it pretty quickly. So it makes it a lot easier to coach, and it's been good to be able to talk to the young guys about what they're doing. And but yeah, pretty hard to sit there and watch it.
Have you learned anything more about the game plan, being able to watch in that sort of sense? Do you think that will help you when you come back?
Yeah, it really sort of puts into perspective what myself and Jake need, Jarman Impey and those guys need to do to play well. When you're sitting up the top there, you can really see if you're not doing and running to the right spots and getting into the right positions to help the team. So it's good that I now can understand that better. I can help Nixie, Trent Henschel and the guys sort of talk to the small forwards about that, and hopefully that's going to take it into my game when I start playing again.
Unfortunately, you've had a bit of company in the rehab room at the moment. How are the other guys going? How's Jay?
Yeah, they're going well. It's been great to actually have some good people in there, because otherwise it'd be very boring sitting in a room by yourself like Polly did last year. But unfortunately for Jay, he had his back, Bobby Carlisle with his wrist and his knee, and then we've got Lobes and Will Snelling in there as well. But all the guys are coming along really well. Homshi's up and about now. Jay's a chance to play this weekend, I think. It depends how he pulls up today. He had a full session today. Lobes is running, and we've had a good crew in there. So as bad as rehab's been, we've been able to sort of keep each other up and about, which has been good.
Does it give you confidence when you see someone like Jay move out of the rehab group and into the main group to know that
it's a little bit of jealousy. He's going to be playing footy, and I'm still going to be sitting there on the sidelines. But it's good to see the guys come out. You don't want anyone in there. If you had a choice, you'd be lonely in there so that nobody else has an injury. But obviously it's a contact game, and everything, you never know what's going to happen, so people get injured, which is unfortunate.
The club's had real close losses and could be the difference between making the top 8. What do you need to do you've been watching from the sidelines, to just get over that line and get that in the positive side?
It's just sticking to what we've been doing. Jake Stringer turns it on in the last quarter and had a pretty quiet game up until then, and that sort of gets the doggies over the line. It's just little things in the game that we can control. We're just letting things slip. So there's not much we have to change. We just got to continue what we're doing and do it for 4 quarters.
What sort of a challenge does Fremantle present for the team?
It's going to be a big one. I know that they don't have all the wins on the board, but I think they've only had 1 blowout game. They've had a lot of close losses. And if you look at their stats are through the roof. They're winning ground balls. Their pressure's second or third in the league. Their forward half footy now is back to where it's been in the last few years. So it's going to be a massive challenge over on their deck, which we do play well at, but we always have close games with Freo, and it's going to be a real test for the boys.
Just getting back to the contract, how much faith has sport shown in you, considering this year you've been severely hampered and the year before your limited output?
Yeah, it's amazing that the club got on the front foot and gave me the contract this early, and we started talking about it just after I got injured. So it was it's great for them to have done that for myself, and I'm really happy to be sticking around for another year.
How much did that lift your spirits while going through this rehab?
Yeah, well, my manager actually had a go at me because I keep getting injured, and he was like, well, how am I going to negotiate a better contract for you? But no, once it was signed, it took a bit of relief off, knowing that it was there and I could really just focus on rehab. But that was always going to be the case anyway. I was always going to try and get back, and if it was 3 or 4 games at the end of this year to try and get another one, then that was going to be the way it was going to go.
Injuries aside, you've been here a few years now. Have you enjoyed fitting into the Port Adelaide way as such compared to Richmond?
Yeah, I'm loving it here. Don't have to wake up as early to beat Melbourne traffic. We got an amazing bunch of blokes, and close to a few nice golf courses as well. So everything off field's really good. But the club here is great. They've welcomed me in with open arms and really helped me develop my football from where I was, and hopefully I can repay that in the next year, and if I can play some good footy after that as well.
How's the pec injury hampered the golf game?
Yeah, I can't swing a club. I tried to yesterday with the boys, with Gussie Monfrey's getting nearest to pin. He asked me to say that. No, it's getting there. I sort of put a ban on myself. I probably could go out and swing a golf club a bit more, but I'd rather be playing footy. That's just the way it is. Once I get a few games of footy under my belt, I'll probably go back to the golf course a little bit more.
Got a left field one to finish with. The Women's League came out today. You obviously thought not into it this time. Would you like to see the club having a women's team in the future?
Yeah, we've got one in grassroots level, but KT is probably better to speak about it. But it'd be nice to have a team out there. I think it'd be. I don't know. I've actually enjoyed watching the Women's League footy on TV so far. They play a pretty good brand of footy. So it'd be nice to have a women's team as well.